Hello everyone, Koopa here. Today I will be discussing the characters from one of my favorite Mario Kart games in the series, which is Mario Kart Double Dash. The characters will be ranked based on the main gimmick of this game, and those are the special items. I won't include the weight classes or card options in this video, but I will for sure be making a ranking about those in the future. The game has a total of 20 characters, of which 4 of them are unlockables. As King Boo and PT Piranha have the ability to obtain every special item in the game as their gimmick, I won't be including those in the list. This leaves us with 18 more characters, which contain a total of 9 special item abilities. We're starting off with Toad and Toadette at number 9. Although they are the characters with the only special item to be unlocked, they contain the least useful item. And that's the Golden Mushroom. When using Toad or Toadette, the chance to get a Golden Mushroom is quite high when you're at the 4th place or higher. However, the item itself is quite useless, because it's only just a little bit better than the triple mushrooms due to the slight longer duration and the ability to keep spamming it. The advantage the Golden Mushroom has over triple mushrooms is really small, and that's why the Golden Mushroom has gotten the worst ranking in this list. At number 8, we've got the annoying crying babies, Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. Their special ability is a giant chain chomp which crushes everyone in its path while being chained to the cart. It is the predecessor of the Bullet Bill, as it gives the player a speed boost while also following the track. The reason it's ranked at number 8 is because the frequency of getting the item is next to 0 at places 1 to 4. Getting it at place 5 and worse, the frequency gets a little bit better, but it's not as high as something like a mushroom. It can also be very hard to control the cart when the chain breaks and you have to take over the steering again. Next up, we've got Peach and Daisy. Their special item are their hearts. Before making this video, I thought the hearts would be in the top 3 for sure. However, they're quite rare to obtain from the item boxes, especially when driving 1st, 2nd or 3rd. Due to the low frequency, the item is placed at number 7 in my list. The item itself is really strong though, as it makes you invincible for shells, bananas and more. And the best part is, when you're being saved by a heart, the item itself gets in your inventory, which means it can be shot back at your opponents. For example, when you get hit by a red shell, you just take the red shell and you can fire it at your opponent. Wario and Waluigi take my number 6 on this list with their bombs. The bombs themselves are quite strong, as they've got a similar explosion range as the blue shell, which means they also remove the player's items when the player is being hit. The frequency of getting the bombs is quite high, however, it can be pretty hard to find a good use for the bomb. This is because it can be quite a challenge to hit a player in front of you with the bombs, as you have to time it perfectly and they bounce around when hitting a wall. When trying to hit the player in front of you, you also have to dodge the bomb yourself most of the time. Next up on the list are Mario and Luigi. When you're talking about Mario and Luigi, you're talking about balanced characters. And once again, they're in the exact middle of the list, at number 5. Obtaining the fireballs is quite hard at first place, but in places 2 and higher, the frequency of getting the item is really good. The item itself is decently strong, as it makes the opponent do a double spin out when being hit. Up close, the item's accuracy is quite good, but at a long distance, it is just a game of luck as the fireballs spread upon getting farther away. Just outside of our top 3, we find Yoshi and Birdo with their eggs. The frequency of getting the eggs is quite decent. The egg basically serves as an extra red shell that also spills items upon hitting an opponent, or another item like a banana. It spills green shells, bananas, mushrooms, and sometimes even a power star. Unfortunately, I always find myself missing the mushrooms or power stars. Also, the power stars look a lot like bananas when being on the ground, especially when playing on a smaller screen during multiplayer. When you obtain the egg in the first place, you can fire it backwards, or you could try to hit a banana in front of you, so you've got a chance to drive through some mushrooms. For our top 3, we've got the Koopa Troopas, the Bowsers, and the Donkey Kongs left. Koopa Troopa gets 3 red or green shells, and I've decided to put them in the 3rd place of the list. The frequency of getting the triple greens or triple reds is quite good on all spots. This is because the game gives you red shells when being in 2nd place or worse, and gives you green shells when being on the 1st place or lower. This means the items are well balanced to get in every spot. The only downside I found in this special item is that you lose 2 out of 3 shells when being hit by another item or obstacle, just like the triple mushrooms. The 2nd place goes to Bowser and Bowser Jr. with their extremely huge shells. This shell is insanely strong as it doesn't care about anything in its path besides solid objects. The frequency of getting the giant shell is quite good on all spots, even at 1st place. The shell is quite hard to avoid because of its size, as it is hard to predict its direction when it hits a wall, as it acts like a giant green shell. And you also lose your items when it hits you. You can snipe players in front of you quite easily with it, and you can also leave a road of chaos behind you when you fire it backwards. My number 1 goes to Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong with their huge banana. Although this might sound a bit wrong, the item is just perfect. Especially when always running up front at 1st place. The banana gives the user the opportunity to leave many obstacles for the players behind. It also blocks shells completely without getting destroyed itself. And when the player drives in the huge banana, it spills another 3 small bananas, so more players have to avoid the obstacles on the road. To top all of that, the huge banana causes the players to spin twice instead of just once. This is why it's my favorite item in this game. So here is the final ranking with the character's special items from best to worst. As I said before, I thought Peach and Daisy would be in my top 3, as the hearts are a really strong and unique item. That might explain why they're quite rare to obtain. Sadly, due to the low frequency, I don't like playing with the princesses at all. My favorite combo to play is with either Diddy Kong and Bowser Jr. or Diddy Kong and Koopa Troopa. In the barrel train, of course. However, sometimes when I feel bored playing the same characters over and over again, I add Yoshi or King Boo to my combo, as King Boo can obtain every special item. I'm curious, what's your favorite combo to play? Which character do you love the most, and why? Do you agree with my list? Please let it know in the comments below. I want to thank you for making it to the end of my video, and I would like to ask you to please like this video and subscribe to my channel, as it helps my channel with the YouTube algorithm.